Today on Uncommonly Good MTG, we're playing Hydra Power, which is a mono green deck that is focusing on trying to get Mossborn Hydra to double up like a unbridled mofo. If that sounds interesting to you, then stay tuned to find out more. Hate it when I... Hello and welcome to Uncommonly Good MTG. I'm your host, the current cover model of Abs of Steel magazine, Dr. Yukon Socket. Yes, thank you. Film before live studio audience. Thank you so much, Yukon Socket. Word to your mama. So I'm broadcasting to you today from my secret underground headquarters, and I'm bringing to you a deck I found over on the Aether Hub, hosted by Bobi. And he calls it Hydra Power. Yeah. My big deal is that I've played against Mossborn Hydra before, and I thought Mossborn Hydra was pretty good. But when I've tried to play Mossborn Hydra decks, it's never worked out. It's always ended up sucking. It always seems like one of those cards that seems good, but doesn't really work out because, I don't know, people kill it. The rest of the deck doesn't really support it that well. It's a lot of stuff maybe early, but by the time you get to mid-game, they don't have any more lands left and nothing happens. You just got a little 1 or a 2/2 running around trying to trample and no lands to prop it up. But this deck, I think, has got the chops. I played it a couple times to see how things are going, and so far it's been aggro-licious, and the Mossborn Hydra has been fantastic. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to take a look at the cards in this deck. We'll talk a little bit how it should work, and then we're going to go out and we're going to crush some hopes and dreams. All right, let's first start off with Mossborn Hydra. What does it say? It's got Trample, and it enters with the Popo counter on it. So it's a 1/1 when it comes out. 1/1 Trampler. That's not much of a Trampler. It's one little head. But then it says it's got Landfall. Whenever a land enters that I control, we double the number of Popo counters on it. So if you had one, you put a land, suddenly it's a 2/2. You put out another land, it's a 4/4. So keep that in mind when we see everything else that's going on. All right, so what else we got? We got a mana ramp. We got a guy that he comes out. Potentially, we can put 2 of them out. Whenever one of our guys gets targeted, we put Popo counters on some other creature we got. You always want to put it on something with Trample. You always want to put it on the Mossborn Hydra if you can help it. The more Popo counters we can put on the Mossborn Hydra, then the more things we're doubling when we put out a land. This keeps things protected. Save it for your Mossborn Hydra. Bristly Bill, also you want to keep them alive because in case you don't get out Mossborn Hydra, Bristly Bill is your next big badass. The only thing you do with Bristly Bill is you can pass those Popo counters onto something else that has Trample, such as your Pawpatch Recruits. All right, so whenever you put out a land, you put a Popo counter on something. For 5 mana, you could double the number of Popo counters on each creature you control. So Bristly Bill is the wonderful backbone that can make this deck go fantastic. The only problem with Bristly Bill, everybody knows you got to shoot this guy in the head as soon as you see him. So he does not last long. So, I like him. He's got tons of value, but he is a target. This guy is as big as the number of forests you control. We got a lot of forests, lots of them. So he will be big. His ability to disguise is cool, but he's expensive. It would cost you 3 to put him out and 5 to flip him. But if you can, you could drop 2 force cards. Oh, no. You put 1 out and 1 in your hand. So never mind. He's still kind of cool. What does it say? Whenever enchanted creature attacks you, Popo counter on it. If it then has 3 or more Popo counters on it, sacrifice this enchantment. When you do search your library for 2 basic lands, put them on the battlefield, which will then double Mossborn Hydra's tokens twice. Which means if you had 4, it would become 16. If you already had 10, it would become, what would it be, 40. So, yeah, Mossborn Hydra could go nuts anytime you do 2 mana to drop at a time. So keep that in mind. We'll see more of that. This guy puts Popo counters on it. Whenever you put at least 1 Popo counter on something, you put an additional Popo counter on it. So, yeah, we got that going on. Garruk's Uprising gives all your creatures Trample. And it'll draw a card provided you have something out that's 4 or more. You don't have any creatures that come out with a power of 4 or more. So that last part will never happen. I'm not sure this is the best card for this deck. Springbloom, when this guy comes out, you sacrifice a land. If you do, you can go look for 2 other basic lands and put them into the battlefield tapped, which is going to either cause Bristly Bill to trigger twice or cause the Mossborn Hydra to trigger twice, and that's all good. All right, and Fabled Passage comes out once, and then you can sacrifice it to go get another land, so that causes things to happen twice. So we got lots of triggers for landfall and 2 awesome dudes for landfall. If anything, maybe you want to put more landfall in here. I'm not sure if landfall's still around. Landfall was huge when we were doing, what was it? One of those K decks or something. No, it's not Kazakhstan. I can't remember what it was. It's the one that has all the weird lands in it. Boa, we played landfall like crazy in the olden days. Not that much as we are now. Now we don't have as much as we used to, but still there's some good stuff out there. All right, so what are we going to do? We're going to get guys out. We're going to go aggro out him. We're going to try to find ways to hopefully get a Mossborn Hydra out, and then just try to pump our Popo counters onto it, and then drop lands like nuts. He's going to be vulnerable, so Snakeskin Veil is going to be the thing that keeps him alive. All right, so that's it. That's the deck. Now, before we go out and do our damage, let's do as we do every night. Let's say our prayers and talk about what is best in life. Hands together. Dear Black Queen Childred, who dwells within the dark chambers of my heart, please hear my prayers and grant your blessings as we attempt to crush our enemies, see them driven for us, and to hear lamentations of the women. All right, playing against commoners of D&D. All right, well, Mossborn Hydra is great. Getting to him is going to be weird. So the worst part is if I get out the Mossborn Hydra and then he just shoots it. All right, 3. Otherwise, we're going to just blow up like crazy. Don't be shooting. Don't be shooting now. All right, cool. I should have... Well, that's going to cost me 2. That's why I can't do it. And another... This is going to be, what, 22, then 44? And we win! He waited to hear me say 44. Victory! All right, we're playing against DragonKnight. All green. Let's green up. Turn off the mouse. Get a little boy out because we got nothing else to pay for at this moment. All right, number 2, put out our own Bristly Bill. Let's see if he's willing just to give his up. I know the answer is no. Ooh, he's going for the kill. Lame. And it comes out slow, so it's just this guy being stupid. Maybe it's a 3/3. That's not bad. He throws out a land. His Bristly Bill would be just as strong. You don't have a 3rd land. That is crazy. He's got a pump in there somehow. All right, cool. See, now I need the landfall. I don't have it. I guess this will help right here. Landfall! Landfall! I'll leave that guy till next turn. Still, 8's pretty decent. That guy's super lame. Thank you. Well, good game, him. Victory! All right, we're playing against higake. Keep. It's 5 to turn it back up, right, huh? 3 to be able to put it out as a 2/2. All right. Otherwise, it's a whole lot of nothing. Touch the precious. Because I know the deal is I'm not good at sitting around. We're going to be throwing these guys out for 2, at least one of them. Unless it tricks me into playing something else. Nothing for 1. All right, this guy's getting swole. Touch the precious. All right, you're just going to chump me. All right, good for you. You get to draw a card. That's what you want. All right, Mossborn Hydra. And again. Put a nice Llanowar Elf out. Send in the boy. There you go. Oh, that's not right. Gotta go for the pump. Springbloom Druid. Away to wonder and oblivion. Two more. 1, 2. And we win. That's double. Just like we're going to In-N-Out Burger. Victory. All right, we're playing against Konoha. Keep. We don't have the creatures that we need. I hope we'll draw them along the way. I do got a path forward that involves the Ozolith. Hopefully he's not playing like mono black because our creatures are... that's not great at all. What are you looking at here? Like a Death Touch? All right, we can use that to pump here in a little bit. All right, we got to do what we got to do, which is this. No attacks. All right, I cannot protect him. Hopefully he won't kill the Hydra right now. That Death Touch is not going to do us very well. All right, so he's got 3. We could throw out the next one. I just go to the pump right now. Hexproof and +2. See, that Death Touch is going to be really bad for us. Let's just go in. We got to kill at least one of his guys. Super Death Touch. That did not work out well. I mean, we got both of his guys out, which is fantastic. Things he's got that little ghost dog up there, which is going to be bad. All right, we're looking good. Need 2 for that, huh? Oh, there we go. Oh! Let's hope he has no answer for our little Pawpatch friend. We're running low on cards. That's bad. All right, you willing to give up Volgroth for that? And we'll hold off. Like, if all he can do is just gain 9 more life, we can win next turn. And we win! We were going to do it! Victory! All right, we're playing against Megaversy. Megaversy. Playing aggro, playing fast. We're not saving it for the future. He's got Crack Dog. Why don't you take a little breath? Take a breath there. All right, we'll get our Hydra out, as one does. He's gonna let it through. That'd be fine. He's gonna grab the Hydra, unfortunately. Oh, you're stealing that guy. All right, well, that was a bad choice. I guess I should have been paying attention, huh? I doubt you could give that guy up now. Now that he's guarding somebody. And we win! Boom, boom! Goes the room! Alright, playing against KingSOB. This is a weird way to build here. 1, 2, we could do this. And go for Bristly Bill, which these guys will pay for, and I could do Fabled Passage. Which I guess start pumping somebody up at that point. All right, let's spread the wealth when this comes out. I just get the impression Bristly Bill's going to get shot in the face. Let's give him the juice. All right, I don't think he's going to go. He's not going to block either of those things. There's no way. He loves his cards too much. Yeah, it's all of that because let's put on little boy here. And give it to the big boy. I don't know, Trampler, let's do that. That sounds fine. You. And another one. You want to chump? You don't. I know you don't. And we win. Way too aggressive. Touchdown. Lava Bears. All right, so we are with the Hydra Power deck, and it was fantastic. It was a really good deck. What I liked was the fact that there was a number of good ways to really combo up with the Mossborn Hydra. What I normally don't like about decks like that is that if you don't get the Mossborn Hydra, does that really help you out at all? Does the rest of the deck just fall apart? This deck did an okay job, because in the ways that Mossbound Hydra work, Bristly Bill works as well. He just doesn't do as well. But still, getting out more lands will help pump a lot more things up. Ozolith will help put that additional counter on things. Basically, he does a pretty decent job. Garruk's Uprising. I'm not sure why this is in here. If you control a creature, sure, you could draw a card when you have Trample. So it gives all you guys Trample. I guess that's what you're really doing, because you're not putting creatures out with a power of 4 or greater. None of your guys are that strong to start off with. So you're not getting that extra ability. It's all just drawing a card and giving you guys Trample. That's it. I seem like you could do something better than Garruk's Uprising. I don't know what. I'd pick something different, though. This was the turd of the deck right there. But everything else, like Springbloom Druid, was fantastic with Mossborn Hydra. That's 2 double pumps right there. And if this guy, he blossoms quickly. Bristly Bill putting onto there helps to get him up those individual points. And then the land drops just double everything up on top of that. So yeah, we had a lot of great combos going on. It made it for a very exciting, very nice deck. All right, so let's take a look at this one. Who was the MVP of this deck? I'm going to give it to the Mossborn Hydra. This is what you were going for, and with it, everything else made a lot more sense. Yes, Springbloom Druid did great with Bristly Bill, so with the Ordeal of Nylea. And this guy was a little rough to play because you had to pay 5 to be able to turn him back over. That was rough, but still pretty decent all the way across. Snakeskin Veil, it was okay. It just depends which other person is playing against. Black, white, sure, because that hexproof was good. But when it started doing damage to it directly, you don't have to fight something, it didn't really work out. They're starting to, wipe the board with things. You can't really do anything with that. So it's hard to say whether this was worth it or not, but it's nice having something to protect your creatures with. Because if your Hydra gets wiped out, you're in toast. The game's over at that point. All right, so anyways, MVP was Mossborn Hydra. Congratulations. And let's see, was this deck competitive? I ended up with an 83% win rate. 83, which makes it a highly competitive deck. So I felt it. It was very aggressive, and it had the potential to just go nuts by turn 4, right? Because turn 3, you put out the Mossborn Hydra. Turn 4, you start laying down your card doublers. I could get 4 lands out in 1 turn, which is 4 times whatever this guy was to start off with. You know, you have it down as 1, he doubles to 2. Next time he becomes 4, then he becomes 8, then he becomes 16 with trample. Most likely you would have pumped him up a little bit before then anyway. He could be way more than that. All right, so there you go. It's definitely a competitive deck. Was this deck a fun deck? It was an aggro deck, so by default, that was a fun deck. Yeah, you got plenty of good stuff for 1, for 2, for 3. Yeah, you could pay for anything. It was all happening. Mostly you were just watching your cards to make sure you got things out in the right order. It wasn't that hard to understand. We seemed to pick up the Pawpatch Recruits a ton. You know, there's only 4 in here, but these guys came out a bunch. And what was nice is you can get a lot of them out. And then if they started trying to nuke things, then, you know, you could just put those things onto the Mossborn Hydra, Bristly Bill, whatever it is you wanted to put it onto. And then we eventually would get out like Garruk's Uprising, giving everybody trample, and they would trample in, and that would be the end of the game. All right, so yeah, nice synergy between the cards. This was considered to be a combo deck. I liked it. I thought it was super fun. Was this deck interesting? Yes. Why was that? Because this was the first Mossborn Hydra deck I have played that I thought worked very well. Usually Mossborn Hydra gets out. Maybe you're trying to do a little bit of mana ramp. I just never saw it work effectively. I could never get this guy to survive more than a turn or two. In this deck, with the way these cards worked out, yeah, I was working great. You know, it'd be nice would maybe be some of that creature deals damage to another creature cards. That might be better because you got your guys out there pretty decent. You need a little bit better control. I think maybe that's what I would put in here instead of the Garruk's Uprising. Sure, it gives you guys trample, but trample is really just baked right in here to the Mossborn Hydra. Bristly Bill didn't have it. Flourishing, this guy didn't have it. But it wasn't really necessary. It didn't. This guy's just a gigantic wuss for Saurus Rex. But these guys did have trample already. I think he had enough trample to make this deck work. Yeah, a little bit of green creature control would have been really nice. All right, still, this was an interesting deck just because it did such a good job with Mossborn Hydra. I thought that was super cool. I enjoyed seeing it actually work. All right, so let's add this up. Was this deck competitive? Absolutely. Was it fun? Yes. Was it interesting? Totes my goats. All right, so that makes this into an A+ deck. And as I'm required by federal law to say, this deck is so choice. I'd highly recommend you pick one up, should you have the means. That is all for now. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure to like and subscribe. From all of us here in the secret underground headquarters of Uncommonly Good MTG, have a great day. In the words of my people, shine on, you crazy diamonds. Later.